Tyler, the Creator, met zijn nummer Colossus. Wat we al eerder hebben geprobeerd deze uitzending, dat is om iemand in de uitzending te krijgen. En dat is ook gelukt. Dus wij gaan overschakelen naar niemand minder dan Captain Rock. Captain Rock, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. It's the captain.
Yeah, Captain Rock. That is, you know, from way back, because you were busy in the early 80s, if I'm correct.
That is correct. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been out here a long time, thank God.
Yeah, thank God you've been busy and at it for such a long time. You started off as DJ Ronnie Green for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Is that correct?
That is correct. I was a DJ. I used to DJ for them on the road. It was called DJ Ronnie Green, featuring Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and the Get High crew.
That is very cool to have, you know, a DJ on the show, because the live artists that we have this week are two rappers accompanied by a DJ. So we have live cuts and scratches on the airwaves. But what was it like back in the day to be a DJ in the hip hop scene?
Oh, it was awesome. It was really, really good. You know, old school. I'm not condemning the new stuff, but you know, all the cursing and all that other stuff, it was more respectful back then. You know what I'm saying? We had a better time at it. You know, you'd go to parties and there wasn't much violence or anything as it is now. People just came to come out and just have a good time.
That is very good to hear, because the rappers that we have in the studio today are planning just such a thing, to have an open mic night, to bring their DJ, and to just get everyone together in love, peace, and unity like it used to be.
Right. That sounds awesome. Yes, that's cool. That's the way it used to be, no question.
But you weren't just a DJ for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You also, of course, were a rapper. Right,
Captain Rock.
Yeah.
The Eileen brothers, who and Nia Records, they were producers, and they had this image of this guy, Captain Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Rock would come down from space, and he would rap, and he would come down in his dipship, and he would go back up. Originally, they had someone else for that. So Mr. Hyde, Alonzo Brown, encouraged me to go for an audition, and I went. And they terminated the other guy and put me in. I must have did a good job, because 30-something odd years later, here I am.
Yeah. So what was that like, you know, coming from behind the turntables and then just taking the main stage as, you know, the rapping artist?
What an experience. You know, as a DJ, you're sort of in the background.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You cut the records and everything else. As an artist, you're front and center. You know what I'm saying? You have to make all the major decisions. You know, as a DJ, the artist makes the decision and you sort of go along with it. But as an artist, it's totally different. You know, it's much more you have much more responsibility. And you're, like I said, you're front and foremost. You're right up front. So it was quite an experience, and I'm still enjoying it.
But are you still at it? Are you still doing something in the industry?
Oh, are you kidding? I practically gig I say about twice or three times a month. 2-3 years ago, we were in England, London. Cool. I have a show on the 17th in New York City and Philadelphia the last Friday in April. So I'm staying pretty busy. Good.
That is very good to hear. Is that still with the Harlem World crew, or have you broken loose?
Well, we were all friends. I was never actually in their circle. You know what I'm saying? I knew all those guys and everything else. And Harlem World was a 10-minute walk from where I lived at, 5 or 10-minute walk. So, you know, we all hung out and everything else, but I really wasn't in their inner circle.
That is too bad to hear. But there's another person in history, and I'd like to take you back to that time, because you also have a connection to Marley Marl. How did that happen?
Eileen's put me with Marley Marl. When we did the return of Captain Rock, they needed somebody to do the mixing of the records. And I met Marley in the studio, you know, via the Eileen brothers. And what a great person, man. He is just awesome. Marley is awesome. Awesome man.
Yeah, he certainly meant a lot to the industry, discovered a lot of artists, and produced like a madman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's a good guy. Dedicated and committed to music.
Yep, and talking about good guys, you're not a bad guy yourself. You've got your own youth program for New York City. What is that like? What is that program about?
Thank you so very much. I work for the city of New York Park and Recreation for the last 32 years. My title is a recreational director, and we work with inner city kids. We coordinate, develop, and implement recreational activities for the kids. You know, it's an after-school program. Kids can come in and do their homework from 6 to 12. Teens, we have baseball, we have basketball, we have soccer, various programs that keep kids off of the streets and into something constructive. Here in New York City, our youth can easily get hooked up in these gangs and everything else. But if you give them an alternative, and that's what we've been doing. You know, we can't save them all, but if we can save one or two, we've done a great job.
That is exactly what I'm talking about and exactly what I like to hear. That is what hip-hop should be all about. It is the hip. That's right. Is the thought of peace, love, and unity and the hop making it happen.
Right, exactly. What I don't care for, which back in the after the 90s, they brought in all the cursing and kill them and shoot them, and we're not setting an example for our children, for the youths. You know what I'm saying? We're not setting an example. Get your gun and go out and shoot them in the head. And these kids, you know what I'm saying? They idolize that stuff, and that's not a good example for our kids, man.
No,
it really isn't.
I agree. I agree fully.
Believe me, it tears me apart.
Yeah. Yep. I do believe that there is a worldwide sweep towards what hip-hop used to be, and that's, you know, the love, peace, and unity, because there's a lot of benefit concerts going on just to support local, like, food banks and youth recreational things, just like the way you're doing that in New York City at the moment. So let's just hope that the old meaning of hip-hop will come back to us, and hip-hop will equal everything good like it used to be.
Exactly. I really hope so. And, you know, I go to old school, you know, shows and parties and stuff. And let me tell you, those old schools, the gigs we go to and the gigs I perform at are jam-packed. You know, people they're really starting to appreciate the old school now. You know what I'm saying? How it used to be. You know, people are a little nervous and leery about going to these up-and-coming rap shows and everything else because there's so much violence.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope that in our lifetimes we can see the return of the original hip-hop and what it stands for.
Absolutely. Like you said, peace and unity and just having a good time, man.
Exactly.
Having a good time.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing here in the show, of course. I thank you very much for having this conversation, Captain Rock. All the best to your youth program, as well as all the gigs you're throwing, and, you know, to keep the spirit of hip-hop alive.
Listen, I want to thank you and the radio station. On behalf of Captain Rock and the Cosmic Crew, we love you guys. Thank you. You have my number. Call me anytime. And we would love to come out there and perform. Listen to your audience, if you go on Facebook and go to Ron, R-O-N, Green, Green, from Harlem, you'll see a bunch of pictures and you'll get more insight into Captain Rock and what we're about, our shows. We got performances on my walls and everything else. Again, that's Ron, R-O-N, Green, Green, from Harlem. And you'll see everything up there on the wall.
We'll be sure to check that out and link that on our own Facebook. So keep that in mind and, you know, check that out for all the listeners at home. Right now, we're going to treat you to Bongo Beat by Captain Rock. And after that, we'll be back with the Arbees, of course, and they'll perform some live music. Once again, Captain Rock, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. And we'll be sure to check in later.
And if you guys are doing any promos or anything out there, we'd love to come out there. I haven't been out there. That's my dream one day. So keep us in the mix, okay? God bless you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, and we'll sure be keep you in the loop of anything we'll be doing here.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Thank you.
Bless you.